So maybe you've watched the videos that just went out a week or two ago about Broadway, Timberville, and Newmarket. I've taken you into some of the neighborhoods and showed you some of the homes and some of the neighborhoods there, but you say, I want to learn more about Timberville, Broadway, and Newmarket. Well, in this video, you've come to the right place, because in this video, I'm going to show you where these towns are on a map. If you're not familiar with the area here, of course, if you're familiar with the area, you know where they are. But I'm going to show you where they are on the map, and I'm going to also give you a whole bunch of other information as well about each one of these towns so that you know what to expect if you live in one of these towns. And if you hang around to the end of the video, I am going to tell you something that is just outside one of these towns that will, let's just say, elevate your living to a whole new level. And you definitely don't want to miss out on finding out what that is, because it's pretty cool. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started right now.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Hi, my name's Stefan, and along with my wife Leslie, we get phone calls, emails, texts all the time from folks just like you who are looking to sell a home here in Virginia's mountains and valleys, or looking to purchase a home. And as real estate agents, we absolutely love to help those folks when they call. So if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, call us, text us, email us. That information's all down below, and we'll be happy to help you make a smooth real estate transaction that's everything you want it to be. And by the way, if you like our videos, we encourage you to click on that subscribe button and touch that bell icon, so whenever a new one comes out, we put out a couple videos every week, you'll be able to keep up on not just the information about the neighborhoods and the houses in the neighborhoods, but a lot of the fun stuff that goes on here in our beautiful mountains and valleys as well, that we go visit because we love where we live. All right, let's just go ahead and jump in right here and talk about some basic information of these towns, as well as their locations. And that's why I pull the map up here, as you can see, when we're talking about Timberville and Broadway. Now, Timberville and Broadway sits in Rockingham County. Now, Rockingham County has a population of about 85,000 people, and Harrisonburg has a population of about 51,000 people. So got about 137,000 people in the entire county of Rockingham County. Now, if you go over to Newmarket, you'll notice that Newmarket is not in Rockingham County, and that is absolutely correct. We'll go over here and we'll pop it up, and you can see that the very southern corner here of Shenandoah County is where you can find Newmarket. Now, Newmarket not Newmarket, but Shenandoah County has a population of about 45,000 people. Now I'll go ahead and I'll go to another map here, and this is again the general area we're talking about. Here's Broadway, and Broadway has a population of about 4,200 people, and Broadway is the largest of the three towns that we're talking about here. We go to Timberville, and Timberville, you're going to find a population of about 3,000 people. And in Timberville, you're going to find that there's a lot of shopping opportunities there for a small town. And the southern side of town, mostly on the southern side of town, they've built a Walmart in recent years, an AutoZone, an Advance, Food Lion, Ace Hardware Store, and several other shopping opportunities there in that area that really bring those two towns together for a lot of that shopping purposes without having to go down into Harrisonburg. Now, Newmarket, even though it's on Interstate 81, it's the smallest of the three towns. It has about 2,200 people in the town of Newmarket. Now, if we're going to talk about some transportation, I want to talk about some of the roads there. And if you are living in Timberville or Broadway, you're going to find yourself traveling on Highway 42, which is known as the Scenic Highway. Goes all the way up and down the Shenandoah Valley between the Appalachian Mountains on the west side and Interstate 81 on the east side. Now, if you're going to get out of Timberville and you're going to go into Newmarket, you're going to travel on Highway 211. Highway 211 going through Newmarket will actually take you over the mountain, Mount Massanutten, and down into Page County where Luray is. If you're coming out of Broadway, you're going to come on Highway 259 to Interstate 81, and then of course Interstate 81 is going to take you all the way up and down the Shenandoah Valley and beyond. And with both of those locations, it's only about 8 minutes or so, depending, of course, where you are in the town, but it's about 8 minutes or so to get from Timberville to Interstate 81. So although it's a little bit off the beaten path, it's really not that far. It's really nice rural town living. Now I want to do one more thing here. I want to zoom in a little bit, and I want to show you a waterway that goes through these three towns, and that is the North Fork of the Shenandoah River. You can see it comes in from the west side of Broadway, goes across the northern part of Broadway, right through the middle of Timberville. Interesting story about that I talked about in our vlog video about Timberville and Newmarket. Continues to flow through the farmland there and skirts the Newmarket battlefield on the eastern side of Newmarket. Now, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here a little bit more, and got a large portion here of the state of Virginia. And so where are we? Well, we are here, and right about there is where Newmarket and where the towns of Newmarket, Timberville, and Broadway are. And so, like I say, so it's about 20 to 25 minutes to get down into Harrisonburg. And, or if you want to go up and do some shopping as well, you can be up to Winchester in about 45, 50 minutes as well. Now, if you want to go ahead and you want to go down into Richmond, you're going to keep on traveling on Interstate 81 till you get to Stanton, and you're going to travel down on Interstate 64 through Charlottesville. And that's going to get you to Richmond in about an hour and 45 minutes. Why you want to go to Richmond? Well, because you want to go through Richmond as well, and you want to stay on I-64, go down through Newport News, and you want to get to Virginia Beach so that you can enjoy the weekend at Virginia Beach. Now, if you're going north, you need to get to one of the airports other than the airport here in Richmond, which will take you about 2 hours to get to. You're going to go on up Interstate 81 again, and then you're going to hit Interstate 64, get on Highway 28, and that'll take you to Dulles International Airport. Or maybe you continue to travel on Interstate 66. You go into Northern Virginia to Reagan National Airport, and it's going to take you about 2 hours to get to Reagan National. So, like I say, not bad, about an hour and 15 minutes, 2 hours. Now, one other place I want to talk about, though, and that's Charlottesville. It's going to take you about an hour and 15 minutes to get over to Charlottesville here and go north of town where the Charlottesville-Albemarle Airport is, which is a really nice place about an hour and 15 minutes away, where you can get a plane on American, Delta, and United and get to a lot of places in the United States. So that should give you a good idea, if you don't already live here in the area, about where these towns are located in reference to the rest of the Shenandoah Valley and really in much of the state of Virginia as well. But now I want to go ahead and I want to do a quick general survey of the real estate values in these towns. So what I've looked at is the single-family detached home real estate values within about 1.5 miles of the town center. So let's start with Broadway. In Broadway, there have been 95 single-family detached homes sold in the last 2 years with a median price of $335,000. The range of prices of homes sold has been between $75,000 and $450,000, and they've been on a median days on market of 19. In Timberville, there have been 52 single-family detached homes that have sold with a median price of $250,000. That price ranges from about $101,000 to $418,000 with a median days on market of 24. Now in Newmarket, there's been 41 single-family detached homes sold with a median price of $290,000 with a range of $120,000 to $690,000 with a median days on market of 16. Now, obviously, there's homes that are more than that if you're looking for a larger home. And that's just what sold in the last 2 years, however, to give you an idea about what the average price of homes in those towns are. So now let's go ahead and let's take a little deeper look into these towns. I mean, they're small towns, right? What are some of the things they have to offer? Let's first of all take a look at shopping and restaurants. We'll start out with Broadway shopping. Now, in Broadway, you're going to find J&B's Country Store. I mean, you can't miss it. It's in downtown and has the big J&B's Country Store printed on the south side of the building. And the interesting thing about this, it was the old Ben Franklin store. if you know what a Ben Franklin store is. Now, in J&B's Country Store, you're going to find multiple local artisans and craftsmen that are selling their products. There's also some furniture in there, and just again, if you're looking for something for the home, there's a good chance you're going to find some really neat stuff in there. Now, another place to stop by and to take a look at is the Creekside Boutique. Now, the Creekside Boutique is a wonderful shop filled with ladies' fashions, and in addition to the multiple types and styles of clothing, that they also carry multiple accessories that you're going to need to make that entire outfit, ladies. Now, the Creekside Boutique is open Wednesdays through Saturdays at different times, so check on that before you go. But again, just got a couple of really nice stores right in town. Now, of course, there's also a Family Dollar and a Dollar General in town as well. I mean, where aren't they anymore, right? It seems like. But like I say, the local shopping there is just a couple neat places in town. So let's go ahead and let's look at the Broadway restaurants. One of the restaurants you ought to go to is Fat Boys Barbecue and More. They've got some amazing barbecue there, whether it's chicken or pork or brisket. There's tenderloin, ribs, and there's actually tacos and burgers. And of course, you need some ice cream to cool that all down, right? And they also have kids' meals as well. Now, there's live music and events, and they also have a food truck that you'll see in different places throughout the valley at different times of the year. Now, another place in town to eat is Town and Country Restaurant. It's a local hangout for breakfast and lunch, and it's your typical breakfast and American restaurant. Of course, there's desserts as well, and they're open at different times during the week, but from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. on several of the weekdays, and then on the weekends from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Saturdays. So let's go ahead and let's travel up Highway 42, the scenic highway there, just a couple of miles north into Timberville. Now, when we're talking about the shopping in Timberville, it really is the place you go if you're living in those two towns and you need something. But if you don't want to drive all the way to Harrisonburg to get it. Now, there are several national brand stores in Timberville. For example, you'll find a Walmart and a True Value hardware store. There's also a Pop Shelf store as well. Now, if you haven't heard of a Pop Shelf store, they're similar to a store that sells home goods and other decorations. They have kitchenwares as well as seasonal displays, and they also have a lawn and garden section as well. Oh, and if you want a grocery store other than Walmart, there's also a Food Lion in town as well. Now, there's an AutoZone and an Advanced Auto Parts across the street from each other, like many places. And there's some smaller shops and a couple of the strip malls in town. So even if you're out in the country, you've got access to many things that you'll need for your daily routine. Additionally, like I said, Broadway is only about 2.5 miles south of town, so lots of residents just shoot up Highway 42 and pick up a lot of things that they need. Now, Timberville restaurants, there's really not too many in town. Now, there's a couple national brand places like Hardee's and Godfather's Pizza, but there's also the Double Dragon Chinese restaurant and the locally owned Roman Pizza Italian restaurant, which really has quite a nice menu. Now, New Market shopping. John Henry General Store is certainly a place that you want to go when you get into New Market. And it's really not a very hard place to find because it's right on the corner of the town's main intersection of Highway 11 and Highway 211. Now, John Henry's General Store is housed in the oldest building in New Market, built in 1802, the Abbey Hinkle House. Now, you'll find lots of neat stuff inside, including lots of food options, but there's also puzzles and toys and clothing, books, and many other items for you to peruse. Now, its owner, John Henry, is no stranger to the area. He can trace his family history back at least 5 generations with family members who've lived in and near this area. Now, his family grew up just on the other side of the mountain in Rappahannock County. Now, Rapidan's the river, but Rappahannock County. Now, John sold seasonal produce, but now manages this store and another one in Warrenton. And it's a fun, quaint store that's definitely worth stopping into whenever you're in town. Now, another store in town is Simple Times. Now, it's billed as an antique store, but Simple Times has a whole lot more than just antiques. For example, there are multiple different types and styles of home decorations that might just find your place into your home when you visit. Simple Times also has furniture in the store, and it's worth dropping by when you're in Newmarket. Now, as far as Newmarket restaurants go, being right off Interstate 81, Newmarket has several national brand restaurants like Godfather's Pizza, McDonald's, and one of Leslie's favorites, Dunkin' Donuts, and it's her favorite because she likes to get coffee there. But again, it's the local restaurants that you want to go to when you're in Newmarket. Now, probably one of the most well-known and popular restaurants is the Southern Kitchen. Now, if you like chicken, then you've got to go to the Southern Kitchen. But it's not just chicken. There's steak, barbecue, there's actually a seafood night, and really a whole lot more. Now, as a family-style restaurant, you can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and experience all the common family-style foods that you would want to. And they've been doing it since 1955. Now, another place just a couple hundred yards up Highway 11 is Kathy's Home Cooking Cafe. Now, Kathy's Home Cooking Cafe, or just Kathy's as we call it, is another great Newmarket restaurant. It's a restaurant also with an American menu, and you'll enjoy pork and beef and seafood, meatloaf, but don't forget about their hillbilly burger as well. Now, they serve lunch and dinner Monday through Thursday and add breakfast onto that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, there's other restaurants in town as well, like Jalisco and the Italian Job, and another place with good food actually is the Shenandoah Golf Club restaurant, which is the Miller Grill, and it's open to the public. I've been there several times, and actually they really have good food there. So let's go ahead and let's talk about recreation. Well, of course, just a few minutes outside of each one of the towns, you have open spaces and you have mountains where you can hike and bike and camp until your heart's content. Now, I mentioned earlier the North Fork of the Shenandoah River runs right through Broadway and Timberville while skirting Newmarket, and this just gives fishermen a great excuse to throw out a line and catch some small or largemouth bass. You'll also find fall fish, crappie, channel cat, and several other species as well. Now, of course, there's other activities in the town as well, and when it comes to one of my favorites, golf, Newmarket is home to the Shenandoah Golf Club, which has an amazing, unique history and 27 holes of some great golf. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about the history of this golf course, just go online and take a look at it, or just watch this video here where I talk about it in a little bit more detail. Now, if you want to go skiing in the winter, you've got Massanutten, about 40 to 45 minutes south of these towns. And Leslie and I did 3 videos about this amazing 4-season resort. And you can always also, if you want another ski resort, go northwest to Bryce Resort as well. Now, one of the neat things about Bryce Resort, though, is that in the summertime, they operate the ski lift for mountain bikers to speed down those mountain slopes on their two-wheelers. It's a really neat thing to see, although I don't think I want to ride down the mountainside. Now, in addition to all the outdoor recreation, each town has nice community parks for residents to enjoy. For example, in Broadway, you're going to find 2 parks that the residents there really do enjoy. The first of which is Heritage Park that can be found kind of near the center of town, and it's cut into 2 halves by Linville Creek. Now, in the park, there's a nice playground along with a pavilion and a baseball field as well. Now, the larger of the 2 parks, Broadway Community Park, can be found on the western side of town and has baseball fields and a small playground. And it's also where you'll find the community swimming pool for those hot summer days. Now, moving up the road to Timberville Memorial Park can be found right along the banks of the North Fork of the Shenandoah River in the town. Now, the park has playground equipment, basketball and tennis courts, a dog park, and there's several pavilions there as well. Now, this park is actually pretty close to the home that I showed you in this vlog video about Timberville. Now, Newmarket has Newmarket Community Park, and it is a very nice park. New Market Community Park is located between Highway 11 and Interstate 81, and it provides a lot of activities for people. I mean, there's multiple baseball fields there, there's tennis and basketball courts as well, there's a playground, there's plenty of open space, and there's also another community pool there. And all of those things help keep the residents of New Market entertained year-round. Now, I looked also on our vlog video of a home in New Market that was just down the street from this awesome park as well. So you can take a look at that same video we just looked at and see that as well. All right, now when it comes to arts and culture, these are really small towns. But it may surprise you to know that Broadway is home to the Schultz Theater Off-Broadway Players. Now, this group of community actors originally performed in the New Market Opera House. Now, that's an interesting story in itself. But they relocated to the Hilliard Middle School Auditorium in 2016. So far this year, the troupe has 4 plays scheduled for the year. They begin in May, and those plays are To Kill a Mockingbird, Sandy Toes and Salty Kisses, My Imaginary Pirate, and Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. You know, that's one of the things that Leslie and I love about the beautiful Shenandoah Valley is that there are multiple playhouses up and down the valley in a lot of the towns, even though they're very small. Of course, there's in the Charlottesville area as well. There's some in Stanton and Waynesboro also. But there's a lot of arts and culture out here in the area and even in a small town like Broadway. Now, this theater, regular admission is only $17, and students and seniors pay $15. Now, additionally, other things in town, there's farmers markets, there's the Broadway Community Park Market that is open pretty much from April through November, and go on over to New Market. There's a farmers market over in New Market as well, pretty much about the same time throughout the year at the New Market Community Park. Now, what other events are there in this area? Well, in addition to those farmers markets, these towns, especially New Market and Broadway, have a lot of events and festivals going on throughout the year. I mean, you'll be able to go to the parks and enjoy free movie night several times throughout the year in Broadway Community Park there in town. In May of each year, New Market has its annual Food Truck Fest at the park where you can enjoy live music and lots of food choices. Now, New Market will also be celebrating their 10th annual Summer Music Series. It's named Crossroads Fest, and it's another free event that you can enjoy an evening or an afternoon with some great local music, some food, and some brews if you like. Now, each town also has seasonal celebrations like there's fall festivals where you can enjoy food, vendors, and music as well. Both New Market and Broadway have a Halloween celebration, and New Market has a Christmas celebration with a parade right through town. Now, also, children can participate in a flashlight candy cane hunt as well. Sounds like a lot of fun. Now, this past year, going back to Broadway, Beards and Broads Axe Throwing featured a double elimination Super Mario Smash Brothers video game tournament. That's a lot to say. The tournament was complete with cash reward prizes, so something really neat in one of the towns. Of course, there's other activities as well. If you like baseball, I've talked about this in prior videos, but the Rockingham County Baseball League has the Broadway Bruins in Broadway and the New Market Shockers there in New Market. As a matter of fact, the Shockers, 2 of the last 3 years, with this past year, 2023, they've won the championship 2 of those last 3 years. And like I say, it's just a great opportunity to go out and watch some good baseball in one of the leagues here in the Shenandoah Valley. If you like baseball, a lot of the games are free or a very, very minimal cost. Now, these are just a few of the events that take place in these towns, and there's a whole lot more that goes on as well. But one of the most impressive things about this area is the history that surrounds you. I mean, New Market, it's home to the Civil War New Market battlefield where Union forces battled Confederate forces in May of 1864. Now, there's 2 places that I would really recommend you visit if you live here in the area. If you haven't done that, get up there. But if you're visiting from outside the area, visit as well. Now, the first one is the New Market Battlefield Military Museum. A man by the name of John Brackham opened the museum in 1988. Now, John Bracken had collected relics from other individuals interested in preserving history over the years. Today, this 6,000 square foot space features 125 display cases and over 3,000 relics, which patrons can observe as they walk through the museum. Now, I've been to the museum a couple of times, and there's just so much to read as you trace military history from before the Revolutionary War all the way up into the wars of the 20th century, with a special focus on, of course, the Civil War. Admission is $14 for adults and $7 for kids, and it's a great place to see authentic weapons and clothing, supplies, and things like that that were used in and around the Civil War. Now, continue traveling north on that same road through the Newmarket Battlefield, and you'll reach the Virginia Museum of the Civil War. I mean, simply put, it's a must-visit place. There's so much history here. Now, the museum is operated by Virginia Military Institute, whose cadets fought in the battle in 1864. The museum has multiple displays, murals, movies, and other media that just really bring the Battle of Newmarket to life. Now, the cost is only $12 for adults, $10 for seniors, and $7 for kids, and it includes admission to the museum and to the battlefield and the other buildings on the battlefield. Now, there are other activities that take place on the battlefield as well, like there's the 160th commemoration of the Battle of Newmarket this year on May 18th and 19th, where you can experience black powder demonstrations, cooking demonstrations, and you can even see how Civil War surgeons tended to wounded soldiers. It's not real pretty sometimes. Now, the museum also sponsors summer camps for kids, as well as several other programs throughout the year, like the Spirits of Newmarket program in October, and there's also a Christmas celebration in December as well. So that should give you a pretty good idea about the area here. One other thing, of course, it's a very agricultural area. A lot of the businesses in the area are based off that agriculture. For example, Broadway is home to one of Pilgrim's Pride locations, and so that's the kind of industry you find. Of course, with retail, that's not the only industries, but of course, that's a big agriculture is a big industry in those small towns. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you that if you hung around until the end of the video, I would share with you something from one of these towns that would elevate your living to new heights. Well, here it is. To the west of Newmarket, there's the very small Newmarket Airport. And while you won't be catching a flight here to go on your vacation, you can catch a flight where you can soar over the Shenandoah Valley. When you're in the air, you're going to see beautiful fields, mountains, rivers, and towns. And you're going to do all of that before you jump out of your airplane that you're flying in. That's right. The Skydive Shenandoah Skydiving Club flies out of this airport. And if you don't mind heights, you too can experience that falling sensation from an airplane to the valley below. Now, if you're a licensed jumper, you'll be able to choose from several different jump packages and enjoy falling through the air at terminal velocity. Sounds fun, right? But even if you're not licensed, you can tandem jump with a skilled and experienced jumper who will help you get from the airplane floor to the valley floor all in one piece. I'm sure that it's the ride of your life. It probably just won't be one that I'm going to be joining you on. Who knows? You never know. But I guess at this point in time, I think I'd just rather not take any chances of making a huge impact in the Shenandoah Valley. So, in any case, if you're an adrenaline junkie, visit their website and get ready to see some beautiful scenery from a totally different vantage point that, if you open your eyes on the way down, you'll probably enjoy. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's giving you an idea about, if you're not here in the area, where these towns are located and a lot of the things that are in these towns. And, like I said earlier, Leslie and I, we get phone calls, texts, and emails all the time from people who are looking to sell their home or to purchase a home. As a matter of fact, Leslie just sold a home in Newmarket a few weeks ago. And, we just really love to connect with the people and then help them connect with their home. If they're purchasing, so that they'll find a home that they really enjoy, or if they're selling, to make sure that that's everything they would like for it to be. So, like I always say, if you are interested in that, call us, text us, email us. But until next time, I will see you around town.